Hey, it's James, Father's Rights and Resources, hashtag HowiGotCustody. Wanted to try and drop, hopefully, an encouraging word, on this Thanksgiving Day. Some people say it's a day where people get extra suicidal or they have issues, and it's a time of family gathering and stuff like that. And if this is your first Thanksgiving without your kids, then it hits harder than people who are used to it, but you never really get used to it. But I just want to try and encourage people that who are going through family court stuff, aside from the system being corrupt and the fact that the judges don't care about the kids and stuff like that, it's almost 90% guaranteed that the other side that you're fighting with and dealing with, they don't want to go to court. I mean, they don't want to go to court, period, for the most part, but they definitely don't want to go to trial. So if you just hang in there and keep fighting, and if you do everything that I'm talking about, you get your best chance to get something fair. But you got to hang in there. It's just like with anything else, that people struggle in life to overcome something or get out of something. Let me pull this up because it looks like that's kind of shaky. And if it looks a little different today, it's because I'm shooting in the daytime. That's the different thing. I was looking at it and said, I was looking at my reflection in here and saying, this looks a little different. Oh yeah, I'm usually doing this at night. But I just dropped my daughter off at her mom's because her mom's such a lazy bum after 20 years of abandonment. I got to do the driving to get her there. Like, she can't, you would think she, after 20 years of missing out on her life, she'd want to, do a little something. But nope, not a narcissist abandoning parent. But maybe I'll start doing videos on my story so people know what's going on. Some people ask for like my story or how it started at least. Anyway, and here's an example. My daughter's pushing 21 and still kind of dependent on me. And the drama or stupidity of this stuff, it doesn't end after that. So a lot of guys say, oh, I'll just wait till the kid's 18, they'll wake up. No. The decision you make will dictate who has total domination and control of the kids, and who gets to influence them or protect them from any alienation or abuse or toxicity. But the vast majority of cases where people win, especially when talking to dads, the dads who get on the offensive and hang in there until you got to look at it as a war. You can't hope and wish that this thing would get over with really fast because it's not nice or it's unfair, it hurts your feelings. All that stuff is true, but it doesn't change the reality. Your life with your kids is on the line. So the other side won't tell you this. Now, there's rare cases where the mother's got all kind of resources. They want to take you to trial. I look at it like, if you want to take me to trial, I'm going down swinging. If you've ever seen that, if you haven't, maybe I'll post it on the next post. But there's a cartoon from about 40 years ago, 30 years ago, where a pelican is swallowing a frog, and the frog is halfway in the pelican, but the frog has its hands around the throat of the pelican. So the frog just isn't going down easy. And then it says, never give up. I saw that in high school. Our football coach posted that for us before a game or something. And the game, 90% of the time, if you're a father, the mother doesn't want to go to trial. Her attorney doesn't want to go to trial. They're trying to railroad you in the meantime, so you surrender and give them whatever they want because you're so tired or beat down, or they got what they wanted first, and things like that. So if you know that, all I got to do is push to the point where they don't want to go, where they want to surrender, and where they a lot of times the leverage a dad might have is on the mediation right before trial, they say, okay, you better settle on this and settle on this, or we'll take you to trial. And you call their bluff. So I got nothing to lose going to trial. And if I go to trial, I'm going for full custody because of your toxicity, and because of your abuse, and because of your mental health issues, or whatever. And I'm going to court, and I'm shooting way up here, and they might think it's funny or laugh at it or whatever. But if that, think about it. This is what happens to guys, and guys never think this is possible on the other side, because you're so consumed with your reality or your situation that, you know, you just don't see anything outside of it. But the other side doesn't want to go to trial 90% of the time. You're sitting there saying, I'm going to trial. The lawyer says, you got to come up with, tells the mom, you got to come up with $10,000 before trial or I have to quit. And she can't afford it. She has to settle with you. So who has the leverage? Who has the leverage? You're getting every other weekend right now, or supervised visitation, or very little whatever. She knows you're not a danger to the kids. She doesn't want to go to trial, can't afford it. You're sitting there in mediation. You say, nope, I'm going to trial for full custody. I'm not settling for anything less than 50-50. Then all of a sudden she comes out with, oh, okay, we'll lift the supervised visitation. Oh, wait a minute. Now you trust me? Well, if you trust me, why can't we do 50-50? I was there, you know, changing diapers and feeding the baby when you were passed out, or you were tired, or you were sick. I've done everything you've done, and now you're telling me you're willing to do this. This whole thing is a big fat bluff, and I'm calling your bluff. 50-50, or I'll see you at trial next week, or whenever trial's coming up. And I'm going for full custody. If you force me to go to trial, do you want to run the risk? Now, and you can be honest with them. I might not get full custody, but I'm exposing all this stuff you did, and now that you just admitted that I can have the child unsupervised, see, this is a leverage game. Everybody wants to get caught up in, oh, well, if I prove my case, then I should win. And this is not about who has the best case most of the time, or evidence. You got biased judges, you got corrupt lawyers, you got people who manipulate the system and play games. This is about who can manipulate the system the best and intimidate the other side and strong arm the other side. If that's the game and you're all caught up in, but I had this evidence, but I had this. Now, you should go to court with all your evidence and overwhelm the court and bomb the court with everything that you have. But in the end, it's usually not about that. You got to remember this. This is a war of attrition. Most wars are won by wearing the other side down. Most bullies get their power by intimidating the other side to surrender and give their lunch money over, or to not walk on their side of the block when they're walking home from school. It's all a leverage. Now, people don't get in brawls every single day. I mean, bullies don't bully people with a fist fight every single day. They do it with intimidation and fear. The same way the family court operates. So if you just hang in there until the end, I mean, I couldn't, when I had family and other people telling me, just give up, just give her what she wants, this is too much hell for you to go through, I couldn't do it. I mean, I could have done it, but in my mind, I couldn't do it. I'm going down swinging. I'm going to face my daughter one day. We went to court when she was 3 months old, 2 months, no, really within a month, March. Within a month of her birth, we were in court. We were in family court about a month and a half later. And I got zero visitation when I first tried. Think about that. The mother tried to get a restraining order against me. I got nothing. The judge got the mother to concede, okay, I'll let him see the kid if he goes through my coworker. And because I had a restraining order, unlike some stupid dads out there, I didn't even want to go near anybody that was near her, so that it didn't even look like that I wanted to touch her or contact her or be around her. And guess what? The next time we went back to the restraining order court to have a review hearing, she complained that I didn't reach out to her coworker. So she's there getting a restraining order, then she complains that I didn't reach out to her coworker. See, if you play long-term ball, then the narcissists don't know what to do with themselves, or they incriminate themselves. You know, I stopped giving the mother money. I know countless guys who keep giving the mother's withholding a child from you, and you're giving money to the mother. Why would you do that? Now, if you have I'm talking about those who don't have a court order. There's no court order in place. She's withholding the child. You give her money. Oh, it's the right thing to do. Says who, where, what, when? Where do you get that from? That's one of the most insane things that guys do. The number one insane thing is violating a restraining order because the mother says it's okay. It's against the law to violate a restraining order. If the mother says go stab somebody, would you do it and say, well, the mother says it's okay? That's just as stupid as violating a restraining order or breaking the law because the mother says it's okay. It's the same law system that you're violating. This is where we got the false mentality that women are gods of our kids or own our kids, and they give us consent and permission. And so if they give it to us, then it's okay. Or if they say no, then we're breaking the law by breaking the mother's word and edict. Or if the law says don't go near her and she says it's okay, we think the law is void. And because we crazily worship and bow down to the mother as if she's God or our own slave owner or our own mommy. You get out that mentality and have the mentality of, how do these people even have the nerve and audacity to act like I'm a second-class parent? How dare they? I'm fighting until the end. And some of you, I can hear some of you saying right now, but it costs too much to take it all the way to trial. I never told you to ever get an attorney, ever. I have people who DM me and message me, do you think I could represent myself? Have you watched one single video of mine ever? All I ever talk about is how to represent yourself or how I represented myself in a word, so you should be able to do the same. I talk about the attorneys rip people off. Why would you think on my page where I talk about how I represented myself and how it's worked for thousands of people, that I'm going to turn around and tell you, well, you can't do it? If you want to come on board and want my help, I'm down and all for helping you. But if you need a whole bunch of affirmation over and over again, yeah, you really can do it. You can really. I already laid that stuff out. I already got proof. I got a winning order on the link in my bio. I got all kinds of other winning orders. My first contempt motion, I got mother found in contempt. I got my parenting plan. I'm willing to share with people in case they doubt me. I won without an attorney. And then you're asking me, do you think I could do this without an attorney? That's all I preach about. You know, that's like asking Bill Gates, do you think, Microsoft Office is what I should get, or should I get something else? I forget what Apple has. Or asking somebody who that's their livelihood, and you say, do you think I could do that? Of course they think that. That's what they're pushing. So anyway, but I didn't get visitation on the first restraining order. It was by verbal agreement that the mother said in open court, but it had conditions. So I didn't follow the conditions. We went back to court. The judge said, did you get a parenting plan yet? So I could drop this thing and you guys can move on to family court. I said, I couldn't get a family court hearing until 2 weeks from now. He goes, okay, I'll hold it. I'll keep the restraining order in place just for then, and then if it drops off, then you guys go to family court. Because he really wasn't believing her, but then he did it just to be safe. And then I went to family court, and Commissioner Deborah Bianco said, I can't give you any visitation because we need to investigate you first. The assumption should be that I'm a fit parent acting in the best interest of our child, like Troxler versus Granville says. She assumed that she had to find out if I'm a fit parent. She didn't have to investigate the mom. She had to investigate me. So the mom gets total control and custody of the child, but I don't. And she commended me for the times that I gave financial support to the mother while she was pregnant. So she's like, great job giving her money, but you can't see the child. So I appealed to a judge called a motion for revision. So I was in court in March 15th was the first time I got served. So it wasn't April, May, June. So it wasn't until June, 2.5 months later, I got my first visitation. It was 5 days a week because I didn't give up. I know a bunch of dads who are ready to throw in the towel as soon as the mother says you can't see the kid. I dare you take me to court, and they give up. I know a dad who the mom threatened to do that, and she's pregnant. He's like, I'll just wait till the kid's 18. They haven't even started. The kid hasn't even been born yet. You got to be in this for the long haul. And there are guys who quit after their first loss. I got full custody. If I would have quit, I wouldn't have what I had. So hang in the fight and take it to trial if you have to without an attorney.